Hey everyone, my name is Curt Maly, and welcome to this hackathon session where I'm going to be talking about the dollar a day strategy and ethical propaganda. I'm super excited to be here with the Scale with AI Summit with Darby and Kelly. And I'm just really excited about this. So I've been playing with AI a lot. I tell people that I have a PhD in AI marketing. That is what we call a public high school diploma. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I am doing with duct tape and bubble gum, and you may automate these processes even more. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right on in so we can get right into the meat and potatoes of the overall presentation. So again, my name's Curt Maly. I'm a leading consultant on digital advertising. I speak all over the world. I love AI. I've been doing Facebook ads pretty much since Facebook, well, now Meta, has really been around and been running ads. And it's just something I'm super passionate about. You're probably going to hear it come out in my voice where I talk kind of fast. I really go over a lot of information here, but I just love marketing overall. And now on top of it, what we can do with AI, oh my goodness. I'm able to do things now that I wasn't even close to be able to do 18 months ago. Well, over the last 17 years inside of our marketing agency, I mean, we've worked with a lot of who's who in the online space, professional athletes, New York Times bestsellers. We've worked with celebrities, people on Shark Tank. We've worked with magicians and musicians. We've also worked with national speakers. A lot of people that you actually may know or see brands of online, we've worked with in some capacity over the last 17 years. And again, I just have a passion for this type of marketing. And I love to be able to either do this for other people or, like in this case, show you how to do it on your own. Now, you're going to see a lot of wrestling images in here. Here's a cheesy image of me holding up a bunch of belts. Well, back in 2019, I was awarded the Masters of Marketing Championship belt by Todd Brown. See, I was invited to a room where there's about 30 other media buyers in there, really some of the best media buyers in the world at the time. And essentially what they did is they ended up giving out a wrestling belt, the one that you see on the right-hand side, that championship belt. They ended up giving away that belt to the person that had the most documented, proven, resourceful strategy that was duplicatable that anybody could use. And essentially I was voted in by my peers by winning this championship belt. Well, what ends up happening is I win this belt because I'm a grown man who wants to win a wrestling belt. And it really spurred some aha moments with me in how we created a brand new process called the belt method. That is where we run ads for the following four segments, where for belt, we build belief, and then we have engagement. And then people who you engage with then either become a lead and or next transact. So very much like what we're doing right here is I want to build a rapport with you while we're going through the presentation. I want you to be able to receive some information from me. I want to build a relationship. And maybe on down the road, when it works out best for you, maybe you'll become a lead and then maybe we'll transact later. But it's really all about building that relationship right now. And I'm going to show you how to build very strategic relationships for just $1 a day over on Meta. So you're going to see a bunch of wrestling images because it ties in with the theme of the belt. And well, just besides the belt, we won lots of other awards as well, too. 16 and counting. So this is my brother with Maly Marketing. We've won over 16 different American Marketing Association awards and really leveraging part of the strategy I'm going to show you right now, right? We do anything from radio, TV, billboard, Google, Facebook, direct mail, so much more. But we use all of these traditional proven processes in online marketing. And I'm telling you, with the online space right now, we have so many advantages. I can't wait to show you in the presentation. So here's your roadmap to the $1 a day meta ads. Now I'm going to call this ethical propaganda. You're going to see why here in just a little bit. The first thing we're going to cover is propaganda. How do we turn this hyper-targeted emotional stories into what I like to call ethical propaganda? And priming the algorithm, using the golden ad process to optimize for results. We're basically giving the ad network exactly what they want. I'm going to talk about our Hot 28 retargeting strategy, how we're using AI with that retargeting tactics that drive engagement and conversions, and the $1 a day blueprint. Basically, some proven steps for effective, really low cost ad campaigns. Again, $1 a day. So let's talk about propaganda first. You know, there's a lot of bad connotations, which there should be from propaganda, like more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. It didn't say smoking was healthy. It basically just said more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. So the dark side, it's manipulation, misinformation, deceptive practices. That's not what we're going to show you how to do, especially like hidden agendas. Like I'm 46 years old. So depending on your age, you may have learned about the food pyramid. My mom still believes in the food pyramid. No, it was set up with a bunch of lobbyists and propaganda. The only reason the food pyramid is laid out the way that it is because of lobbyists, not because of nutritionists. So we want to make sure that we're telling people the truth, but I'm going to show you how to do ethical propaganda, not some of the things that we just kind of believe as truths with the regular old age propaganda. So what is ethical propaganda example? Well, ethical propaganda, it's redefining the concept. So we want to be informative. We want to be sharing truth and valuable content. It's going to be super targeted, especially what I'm showing you in the dollar a day, reaching the right audience with the relevant messages, transparent, clear about the intentions and the sources, beneficial, aiming to help and not harm or mislead. So our mission overall with this presentation is transform propaganda from a dirty word into a powerful ethical marketing strategy. So the digital age, let's talk about social media and the modern newspaper. I mean, it's essentially called the news feed for a reason. So when you log into Facebook or you log into Instagram, there's going to be these curated stories that are curated just for you. If we're in a room of 100 people and we all log into Facebook at the same time, we are all going to see different posts at different times, depending on what we want to see. So just imagine a physical newspaper in front of you. Well, a physical newspaper is written for everyone. The newspaper has to kind of take a guess of what should be on the front page, the second page, the sixth page, the 10th page. Where should the advertisements be? Well, that's why it's called a news feed. Our digital news feed is customized for what we all want to read individually. So I'm going to show you how to exploit or leverage the current social media AI on Meta to make sure people are seeing your content. Now, the implications for advertisers, whether you're doing this organically or with paid traffic, knowing how the audience consumes information helps advertisers craft content that fits seamlessly into this digital experience. All right. Ethical propaganda. Anyone can access this. Personalized news. Well, you have the Facebook newsfeed, the Instagram newsfeed. So we're going to create a tailored newspaper for a perfect avatar at the perfect time at the very perfect moment. This is going to help align with their behaviors, likes, engagement patterns. You're going to see, of course, how to do this in the buyer's brief book. I'm going to talk about that, how we're leveraging that with AI in just a couple of minutes. And we're also going to blend organic and paid strategies because once you understand really how the social media networks work, I'm really talking about Meta. The other ones kind of follow suit in very similar ways, but I'm really talking about on Meta here. Once you understand how it works, then, it's just about creating more content. I'm also going to show you the new frontier for advertisers, just meaning because we can get so personalized and so hyper targeted, we don't have to spend a whole lot of money to have a huge impact. I like to call these things micro budgets. You're going to hear me talking about a dollar a day strategy here just coming up too. So here's the crystal ball. Here's decoding Facebook's overall algorithm. So how the organic algorithm works. So I was on stage just recently. I'm actually in Los Angeles right now giving a speech on this exact same topic. And essentially what I did is I gave this speech, which you see here, this image of in Las Vegas. What I did is I wrote a long form post. I think it was like 8,000 or 8,500 characters long. Readers are buyers. People say people don't read these days. No, they do. I wrote a long form post on my personal page. And I started to get a lot of comments. I got a lot of likes, and I just doubled down on the stuff that worked. Well, as you know, when you post on Facebook and Instagram, sometimes lots of people will see it. Sometimes hardly anybody will see it. Sometimes your best posts that you thought were going to work great don't get seen at all. And sometimes posts that you just randomly threw up there get a lot of attention. Well, why? Let me show you how the algorithm works. So you're going to post something, let's just say on Facebook or Instagram. They both pretty much work the same way. What's going to happen is, let's just say Facebook. Facebook's going to estimate action rates. That means Facebook's going to look at your post and basically analyze the post. How does Facebook think people are going to respond? Is it relevant? Is it positive? There's all these different qualifications that Facebook's looking for in their crystal ball, wondering, okay, how many people should we show this post to? Again, I'm really talking about the organic post. Well, what's going to happen next is Facebook's basically estimating these estimated action rates. Is this relevant for the audience? Will people read it? Will people consume it? Facebook wants to show your content, but Facebook's only going to share your content if it's relevant and improves the user experience. So Facebook's going to make these estimations, and then Facebook's going to show your ads to just a small audience in here. Sorry, your organic post. Facebook's going to show your organic post right here to a small group of audience. Now, what's going to happen from there, depending on what actually happens with your post, are people actually reading it? Are they engaging with it? Are they leaving comments? Do they like it? So just because they like and share it doesn't give us a huge relevance. There's a lot of people who don't like or share anything who are reading, who are engaging. So what's going to happen is the more people that read and engage, the more that the post is going to get seen. Now what's going to happen is the post is going to get seen by even more people if Facebook or Instagram believes this post is really relevant. A lot of people want to see this content. So the more relevant your post is, written to the right person at the right time, the more the post is going to get shown. Now, I don't like to use the word virality. I like to say amplify. So how do we make sure that people are seeing our post? How do we, people say I get shadow banned. No one ever sees me. In some instances, there is a shadow ban, but I'll tell you, a lot of times what happens, it's because people are putting out a lot of content that's not relevant. So even when you put a post that you think is highly relevant out there and nobody engages with it, it's because the platform doesn't feel that it's relevant to the other users. So we want to make sure we're creating content that's very specific for the right user. Again, if we dive into the buyer's brief book, we're really going to understand that experience a lot more to make sure we're writing for the right content at the right time. So Facebook and Instagram will show our content. Well, let me show you how the paid algorithm works. It's very similar to the organic algorithm. Now, here's the big difference. We have an advertiser's bid, and then we have estimated rates of actions, user value, and then that's going to determine if the ad is actually being seen and clicked on. So the advertiser's bid. So the advertiser's bid is two things. One, okay, you're going to bid for an objective. Do you want to get leads on Meta? Do you want to get sales? Do you want people to watch your video? Do you want them to engage on your ad? So when you click on one of those buttons, what do you want from Facebook? So let's just say we want to go out and get sales. Okay, great. So we want to go out and get sales and we want to target entrepreneurs. Now that I told Facebook that I want to get sales and I want to target entrepreneurs, Facebook basically just going to charge me a rate to place the ad. It's called a CPM cost per thousand impressions, essentially. So we're basically going to get this advertiser's bid, right? And we're going to go ahead and say, hey, I want purchases and I want to target entrepreneurs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to submit our ad creative, and then Meta's going to take a look and say, okay, how do we think the ad creative is going to perform? How did the ad actually perform? Are people clicking? Are they reading? Are they engaging? Engaging means, are they consuming? Facebook wants you to make leads and sales, but it has to be relevant content. So Facebook really wants to make sure that you're targeting the right audience with the right message at the right time. So the right person reads the right message, engages with the right message, clicks on the message, and then becomes a lead or sale. If people are not reading your messages, Facebook knows that it's not relevant, or Meta knows that it's not relevant. If people are not clicking on your ad, and if they're not becoming leads or sales, then Meta also knows that it's not relevant and your ad costs actually go up. So Facebook wants to produce for you leads and sales. We just really got to make sure that we're writing the right content for the right person at the right time. So we want to win with ad creatives. We want to put a whole bunch of different ad creatives out there. So what I like to do is I like to post a lot of organic posts to see which kind of cream rises to the top. So it's really about a game of not who has the best headline, who has the best overall content, whether that's an organic or as I'm going to be showing you paid here in just a couple of minutes. So what we like to do is we like to take the information like in the buyer's brief. We really like to take the information and build out our whole customer avatar. What we're going to do is we're going to create a GPT around that avatar. So I'm going to show you one of the strategies that we're using where we really build out the buyer brief. We really build out a really good custom avatar. Then next, what we're going to do is we're going to come up for content ideas that relate to the avatar and that also tie into our offer. So I'm going to use AI to create a GPT to basically upload our entire buyer's brief. I'm going to upload that. Then I'm going to upload screenshots of our website, of our funnel. And I'm going to type in, what are my goals? So I want 20% of people or 30% of this people to go to this page. I want them to opt in. So I'm going to show basically the GPT, here's my buyer's brief. Here's my goals for my funnels. And then essentially what I'm going to do is say, hey, I would like for you, I like to use these words. I want you to create me 20 radically different content ideas for me that I can record videos on. Or what I like to do with clients is we will either set up an interview with them one-on-one, where we can interview with them questions and use AI to edit the videos. Or what we do is we just basically have AI through creating this GPT create for us 25 interview questions that basically we can just read to the camera, and AI like Opus Clips can help us edit up some of the clips. So this is what perfect to use the buyer's brief information for. By the way, if you want to create a GPT that looks something very similar to this, is by uploading that buyer's brief. Many of you already know how to create a GPT. It's just surprising to me how many people don't know how to create a GPT. So if you want to create a specific GPT for your avatar, you can go ahead and click this right here. It'll tie in the buyer's brief book with your own GPT to ask some additional questions as well too. There's no opt-in. This just takes you directly to a video training of how to set up the GPT if you don't know how to do that. Okay. Now from the GPT, one of the things that I like to do is I also like to tag other GPTs. You know, when you use the @ symbol. So I love this right here. Viral hooks intro. See, what I do is I take my buyer's brief, basically. I take that, I upload that with this little attachment right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the @ symbol, like if you're going to tag somebody like in a post. And what I'm going to do is I'll give you a link to this GPT right here. And I'm going to tag viral intro hooks. So now I can use my buyer's brief and connect it with the viral intro hooks. And it's going to analyze my avatar, my offer, what my goals are, and then write viral intro hooks to help get some of my videos. And then the best of the best intro hooks, viral intro hooks that I like, I'll have this GPT write me a script that is based on a lot of frameworks that have made other videos go viral. So if you would like access to that GPT, Michael Sanchez created it. I always like to give him credit. It's a public GPT. You can see how to get access to that right now. I use this all the time with my buyer's brief to really crank out some videos. Now, I'm going to show you how to turn your content into golden ads. So I like to call this as ethical propaganda. This is where meta AI is enabled. So what I want you to do, now this really works on your business page, your Instagram page. This can work on your personal profile if you have a professional profile where you all are able to boost posts. What we tell people to do in businesses to do, post on your Facebook and your Instagram business account. I like to say at least once a day. The reason is because what's going to happen is sometimes Meta, Facebook, or Instagram is going to look at your content and only serve it to some people. And if you're only posting once a week, you don't really know what works and what doesn't. If you're posting once a day, you're using Facebook or Instagram's AI to start out and reach people. What we want to do is once a week, we want to determine what are the most relevant posts, meaning which one of our organic posts or two of our organic posts got the most reach. I don't care about likes or shares, but if you look in the back of your analytics for your page, for your Instagram account, or your page for your Facebook page, what's going to happen is you're going to see all the posts that you've made once a day. You're going to see which post had a better reach. So for example, if we post, let's say 7 times in a week, one post may reach 100 people. Another post may reach 125. Another post may reach 50 people. Another post may reach 500. So the question I get is, why did this post perform better? I don't know, the algorithm just did, but I want to enhance that post. See, what I want to do is I want to take a post like this, where I've gotten a bunch of comments and likes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into an ad. I like to call this omnipresence with ethical propaganda enabled. See, what we're going to do is we're going to activate something called the Hot 28 audience. This is a retargeting audience that I'm going to set up. Oh my goodness, I love this. You know, I am 46 years old at the time of this recording, and there used to be a saying, you don't want to argue with people who can buy ink by the barrel. That means you don't want to argue with like a newspaper who can buy all this ink, who can print a whole bunch of stuff about your business. But the times are changing now because now we can print our own digital newspaper. I like to call this the Hot 28 newspaper. Basically what this means is inside of Facebook, you can go into basically inside of Meta ads. You can go into Meta ads audiences to set up your audiences. And I set up a 28-day retargeting audience for anybody who visited my website. Then you can also set up a 28-day audience for anybody who engages with you on Instagram, or a 28-day audience for who engages with you on Facebook, or if they follow you on Instagram, if they follow you on Facebook, if they watch certain videos. So basically, here's what happens. Just imagine you have a physical newspaper in your hand, right? And you're reading the physical newspaper. Well, those news stories are written for the masses, for everyone at once in the physical newspaper. And then they just throw in some random ads. But your newsfeed is custom designed just for you. So I'm going to show you how to get inside someone's custom designed newsfeed. So see, here's what happens with the power of the Hot 28. When you combine all of these different retargeting audiences together, I'll give you a checklist to do this. What's going to happen is let's say someone's going to watch a video of yours. Let's say they watch 50% of your video. Well, they're automatically going to be retargeted for 28 days. Well, 3 days later, let's say they visit your website. That clock resets another 28 days. Let's say they decide to follow you on Instagram. That clock's actually going to start for another 28 days. So as long as they're engaging with you, they're going to keep on seeing your content. So we want to make sure that people are seeing your content on a regular basis. And here's the way we're going to do this. Let me give you an example. This is Peter, one of my favorite people. Now, what's going to happen is we are creating these 1-minute videos with Peter based off the AI information that I showed you before by using the buyer's brief and combining that with a GPT. So we're going to start posting a lot of these 1-minute videos, and a lot of people are going to be watching these 1-minute videos from Peter. Well, what happens is anytime someone watches a video from Peter posted on Facebook or Instagram or engages with the post or goes to his website or even reads the long form post, they're going to be retargeted in this Hot 28 audience. So it's kind of like a digital web, right? Like a spider web, like a digital spider web. We're just going to catch as many people as possible. So here's where the power comes in. We're going to make sure that anybody who clicks on, views, or engages with any of our posts sees more of our content. So again, instead of running an ad that just says, did you buy my stuff? Did you buy my stuff? Did you buy my stuff? What's going to happen now when someone's going to see a piece of your content, they're going to log back into Facebook and Instagram, and all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh my goodness, I saw this one piece of content of yours. Now I noticed everyone's talking about you. I'm seeing all this different types of content. You can make this happen for just $1 a day. So I call this the content kryptonite. This is where we use AI micro budgets to really light this thing on fire. So for example, as we're posting videos on a regular basis, we ended up posting this video, find out how to fund college education while protecting your retirement. See, Peter's a financial expert that helps people protect their retirement so they don't spend all of their retirement on college tuition. Like, for example, did you know Yale this year is charging $94,000 a year to go to school? We're not even talking about room and board and food and all the other things, $94,000. So how do you make sure you don't spend all your retirement? So we're posting a lot of videos that Peter's recording on a regular basis. Sometimes the videos will get 3 or 4 or 5 views. Sometimes they'll get 2,000 views. So we want to take the most popular videos, and for $1 a day, we want to take all those eyeballs that saw the most popular video and show them all these other videos. We want to make sure that when people are logging into Facebook and Instagram, they're seeing a bunch of your content. Not, hey, did you buy my stuff? Did you buy my stuff? But they're going through the experience like what you're going through with me right now. They're building engagement. You're learning. You're building a relationship. This is where you truly can purchase ink by the barrel. I mean, you're literally creating your own digital newspaper for people. What literally happens is we give Facebook $1, and it's like Facebook goes out and finds the right person at the right time because Facebook's looking for high ad relevance. So now when people log in, they're seeing a news feed that's customized with your content for what they want to see. So if you're posting on a regular basis, people are just seeing 1 or 2 pieces of your content. They're like, oh my goodness, I was thinking about this the other day, and all of a sudden your video popped up my newsfeed for exactly what I was thinking. It was so crazy how that works. Yeah. So what we suggest for you to do is suggest once a week, identify your 2 best performing posts. What you're going to do is you're going to run $1 a day for your most successful posts, your most engaged on posts, your posts with your most reach. You're going to target your Hot 28 audience for just $1 a day. So each winning ad creative for just $1 a day is going to target that middle of funnel audience. What's going to happen after 5 to 7 days, only $5 to $7 for an ad creative. After 5 or 7 days, you're going to be able to tell, is this ad creative working? Are people engaging? Are they watching? Now, I'm going to give you a checklist on how to do this. And you can always reach out to me and I can help you go through this, but these are actual custom metrics in the back of Facebook. And I know depending on people's experience, it kind of be what does this report actually mean? But let me just kind of just show you what we can gather from just $1 a day. Well, one of the things we can gather is the hook rate. That's 3 seconds divided by impressions, meaning are people scrolling through the newsfeed? Do they stop and look at your video? My goal is I want to have at least 35% of people stop their scroll to watch my video. Look at all these videos. 79% of people who see the images of the video stop it. Crazy. Well, how do I know that? Okay, so if people are stopping the scroll, then the next thing is, are people stopping the scroll, but are they watching? So I'm going to divide through plays. This is 15-second video views divided by 3-second views. Again, these are custom metrics, and I can show you how to set this up. I'll give you a checklist to do this, but my goal is to have 35% of people stop the scroll. This is great, 35% or more. Then once they stop the scroll, I want to make sure that they're actually watching the video. So are they watching the video for at least 15 seconds? Again, I like to be over 35%. So right here, this is a perfect example. Okay, now that they watch 15 seconds, will they watch 25% of the video? Do they watch 50% of the video? How many people who watch 15 seconds will watch 75% of the video? Or who's going to watch 95%? So now I'm able to tell, okay, the video content that we're producing with Peter, for example, are people stopping the scroll? Number 1. Number 2, with that content, are they watching for at least 15 seconds? Number 3, if they're watching for 15 seconds, do they watch 25, 50, 75, or 95? So now we can really specifically look at each of our individual videos and know, oh, this one doesn't stop the scroll, so I have to have a better viral hook. Oh, this one didn't even get people to watch more than 10 seconds. We got to figure out how good our viral hook is for the right person at the right time. Oh, people are stopping the scroll. They're watching for 15 seconds, but they're not watching the rest of the video. That just means we have a good hook. We have a good scroll stopper, but we don't have good content in the middle. Now we have stats for $1 a day and $5 to $7 to know how is our content performing overall. I like to call this the conversion kryptonite, because essentially what ends up happening is we identify these winners for $1 a day. We take the best of the best content ads, and for $20 a day, we turn them into conversion ads. So what a lot of people do is a lot of people will test a whole bunch of ad creatives right away, and they'll just spend a lot more in their budget. What I mean by that is a lot of times 80% or more of your ads are not going to work. The 20% of your ads that do work is going to make you a lot of money. The problem is getting to that 20% that works. So if we're spending high budgets testing out a bunch of different ad creatives, we're going to blow through money right away. But if we're testing a bunch of ad creatives for just $1 a day and we let it run for 5 to 7 days, it's only $5 to $7. Within $5 to $7, we know if the ad creative works. And then after we spent $5 to $7, we then turn this into $20 a day for, let's say we want to get leads. We'll take the ad creative, we'll turn it on for $20 a day with our conversion objective to get leads. And within 2.5 days, we'll know if that ad creative works to get leads. So what I'm showing you is an economical way from a high-level view of how to make sure that you can pre-qualify your content, use AI to crank out a bunch of content ideas, post content on a regular basis, take your best of the best content, make sure you set up your hot 28 retargeting audiences, take your best of the best content, promote that for $1 a day to that hot 28 middle of funnel audience. And essentially what's going to happen is after 5 to 7 days, see if people are actually engaging with your content, just start running micro budgets. Again, you can start testing $20 a day of a conversion ad of your best ad creative. The hot 28 is essentially just setting up retargeting audiences for 28 days. All the different ways that you can set up retargeting audiences in Facebook, set those up for 28 days. It's really simple. So the $1 a day strategy, well, I do want to say this about the $1 a day strategy. Low cost testing. It's only $1 a day. High impact results. You can start to see an impact within 48 hours, and we're going to hyper target people. This is my friend Dennis Yu. Dennis taught me of the $1 a day strategy. And every time I talk about the strategy, I talk about Dennis Yu. Dennis speaks all around the world because what he does is he also uses the $1 a day strategy, obviously, since he was the founder of it. What he does is he puts people in a custom retargeting audience who books speakers on stage. So this way, anytime that Dennis is speaking on stage, he takes an image, runs $1 a day. And essentially what ends up happening is, oh my goodness, all these people who book stage speeches are like, Dennis, we see you speak all over the world. We saw you spoke here. You spoke over here. We saw content of you over at this other speech. Will you speak at our event? The $1 a day strategy can work in so many different areas. So choose your creatives, segment your ethical propaganda, set up campaigns as categories that you can group together and enhance your ethical propaganda. Like maybe testimonials are in one campaign where I have 5 or 10 testimonials that I run for $1 a day each. Maybe I have user generated content that are showing people box openings. I'm going to run those for $1 a day. Maybe I'm going to show awards that I won, product reviews. Maybe I'm going to show box openings. Maybe I'm going to show a demo. I want to vary up the different types of content that I have. And message and angles. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person at the right time. That's why the buyer's brief works so amazingly well, especially with AI. And we want to test different formats, right? What works better? Videos, long form posts, images. What works the best? So, by the way, I really appreciate the time with you, but obviously I can't teach you everything in just the 30 minutes that I have here. So if you would like a checklist of how to make sure that you're running these $1 a day ads, how do you set up the hot 28? You can go ahead and take a shot of this QR code right here. There's no opt-in or anything else. It's going to take you over to a checklist that you'll run down the checklist and just make sure that you have everything completed. And then there's my contact information down at the end if you would like to explore any other options with us on, basically we have 3 different parts of our business. Part number 1 is we basically teach people. We have for the last 17 years, we teach people how to run their own ads. Or option number 2 is we have people in group or one-on-one where we'll consult with you directly to make sure that you're running the right ads at the right time. We've been doing that for over 15 years. Or if you want us to run your ads for you, we just got to make sure that you have a proven offer, and our agency can take a look at running your ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, billboards, radio, TV, whatever works out best for you. But all you got to do is just take a click of that screenshot right there of that QR code. It'll take you right to the checklist. Scroll on down to the very bottom. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out. Thank you so much for watching the presentation. I would love to hear about your results. So let me know what you do with this information. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can easily find me over on Facebook or Instagram, where you'll see my contact information once you click on the QR code here. Again, thank you so much, Darby and Kelly, for having me here for this hackathon session. I really appreciate you all being here for the Scale with AI Summit, and I cannot wait to see what you do with this information. I'll see you all on the other side.